Alright guys, so Team Dokkan today has dropped some interesting news, right? With this, we can sort of piece together what's going to be happening with Global Dokkan and Blue Gogeta slash Full Power Broly. Now, I will say this is a bit disappointing because this is going to lead to a situation where, like, every single day for not only Global Dokkan, but also Dragon Ball Legends, it's like people are just waiting for Blue Gogeta. Like, it's the same way I was before for JP Dokkan before they got Blue Gogeta, right? It's like, oh yeah, Super Boo's cool. Future Gohan and Legends, that's nice. Where Blue Gogeta though? Where's Blue Gogeta at? That is just going to be the only question on everyone's mind. And again, I don't blame y'all, because I was the same way, before Blue Gogeta came to JP. So, I can't help but say right now, it looks as though Blue Gogeta and Broly will be coming in February. It was a definite mistake by Dokkan not to release the movie characters at the same time on both versions. It would have been, here's the thing. Right now, I feel like people haven't really accepted that Blue Gogeta is the best TUR in the game. One reason is because, of course, they're not out on Global. If the units had dropped on Global at the same time, I think the hype really could have surpassed the hype of the 250 million download celebration. It could have been like the most hype time ever in Dokkan history, and I think people at the same time would understand how amazing both Broly and Gogeta are, and how they are such a huge step up from previous units, right? For example, Tech Hit is dog shit compared to Gogeta and Broly. Tech Hit is an amazing unit, but he is nothing before Gogeta and Broly. It's not hype factor. They are just way better than Hit. They do a lot more than Hit is capable of doing. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is a nice little fun thread here. I really do like how Team Dokkan does this. He's done this before with me and Zahal, where some of us will be talking, theorizing on a timeline, and Dokkan will kind of swoop in and be like, okay, A, B, or C, here y'all go. And that's exactly what happened right here. So this homie right here, Angel Gabrielle, kind of tweets out all right, so the Broly movie is coming to, in about a week's time, once it releases in the US, many places around the world it will have released, right? Though I know there are still other dates for when, the movie is actually coming out, but in a lot of places around the world, it will have officially dropped by then. So he's saying, could we see news on Global tonight or soon for the start of the campaign for the movie? Now, if you guys did not see on JP Dokkan, the way they did this was they released a story event that came with 4 free-to-play farmable characters. Coat Vegeta, Coat Goku, an Int base form Broly, and a final form Frieza. Then, about 12 days later, they released the second part of the movie event, along with the actual banners and the AGL EZA Broly, that card. So, really, they're not on Global going to just, it's not going to be okay, we're just sitting here, and then, oh shit, Gogeta's dropping tomorrow. That's not going to happen, because they're going to do the same thing they did on JP, where they put that story event out first. Then, from there, the countdown to Gogeta and Broly does officially begin. But really, Global players, what we're waiting for is that story event to show up. Because once that happens, the movie stuff is officially going to begin. So D3 is saying it's likely very soon. Again, I'm thinking the same thing, that this, it's just, the longer they wait to bring the movie stuff, the more hype dies down, the player base gets a little bit saltier. There really is no benefit in waiting, right? So Team Dokkan comes in and says, on Global we'll have Super Boo soon, certainly with the Punch Machine event. Movie campaign will start at the very beginning of February, so no dual Dokkan Fest Gogeta and Broly before mid-February. So, what he's saying here is that Super Boo will probably come out, I don't know, on the 16th or something, right? Something like that. This would make sense because he was just added into the database for global. Also, there is a Broly movie card that Frieza, his leader skill, it actually has the enhanced transformation category as part of his leader skill. So it makes sense that they want to add Super Buu in before that. Now, everyone immediately points out, oh, but the STR Vegito, he was in the game before the Buu Saga. Yeah, but that was that was a glitch. Like, they messed up. They did not intend for that to happen. That was a complete mistake. And then they said, oops, we got caught with our pants down. Guess we'll just release the Vegito early. That's the way that went down. So I'm pretty sure, they're going to want to get Super Buu and that category out first. And then that Frieza has that free-to-play, category leader skill there. Now, so the way this is going, shortly after the beginning of February, we would get the start of that, Broly story event. And again, once that happens, 10 to 14 days later, boom, that's when the Dual Dokkan Fest would drop. So if this timeline is correct, by the way, let me give you all a little info on what's going to be looking like for the 4-year anniversary on JP and then the Gogeta and Broly stuff over on Global. Now, JP, I am expecting we will find out what the 4-year anniversary units are either on the 28th of January or the 29th. One of those 2 days. We'll probably get the data download, and we'll also get the news added into the game. The last 2 years, the banner has gone live on the final day of January in my time zone, right? So, it presumes, stands to reason it's going to be the same this year. The last day of January, the banner for the 4-year anniversary units should go live. I think the countdown usually will start sometime, the 21, 22, 23rd. One of these days, the countdown will probably start. So we're really not that far away, only 2 weeks away about from the start of the countdown, right? So if that's the case, JP will get their 4-year anniversary like sometime on the 31st, right? SCR Super Buu could potentially come out sometime, I think, around like the 16th. Like, definitely in this week frame right here is when SCR Super Buu will probably come out on Global. Because at this point, Global hasn't had a Dokkan Fest since hit on, the 23rd? And Global releases Dokkan Fest much more rapidly than JP. Usually JP, sometimes it's 4 or 5 weeks between Dokkan Fest, 6 weeks sometimes, but Global usually doesn't wait that long, so Super Buu should be coming out relatively soon. Then if we move the calendar over to February, right? So let's just for the sake of discussion say that Global gets the story event on the 1st. Well, then all we would have to do is go 12 days into the future, pretty much, sometime, boom, right around here as the dates for when the Dual Dokkan Fest, Broly and Gogeta could arrive. So the 11th, 12th, 13th, somewhere in that time frame could be when we would see Gogeta and Broly go live. Now, so then at this point, D-Free and Nano continue talking to Team Dokkaner, and Team Dokkaner, mentions a lot of stuff. So I like what D-Free's saying here. This is something I've actually mentioned quite a few times recently as well, where they could release this Broly movie stuff on Global right around the same time when the 4-year anniversary is happening on JP. No matter how hype the 4-year anniversary is on JP, I don't think it's going to be new characters added to Dokkan for the first time, right? So, I don't think we're going to get, I guess the only way would be, if it was, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito or something like that. That would definitely qualify as, a character we haven't seen before, right? But I'm thinking more along the lines of we'll get, LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, something like that could be what we would see for the 4-year anniversary. And there's always something special about when a unit comes to Dokkan for the first time ever. Gogeta, Blue, and Broly are their first cards, since they've been introduced in Dragon Ball Super. So that will still be very special. So even though it's very, very, very likely, I would say that the 4-year anniversary cards will be better on JP, Global is still going to be super, super hype about having Gogeta and Broly actually on Global. So it is sort of set up in a good way that both versions have hype at the same time. Because, in previous years, during the, 3-year anniversary, 2-year anniversary, Global is just completely dead. There's nothing. There's no hype. It's just a completely dead time for Dokkan. Like, I remember 2 years ago, Global was just sitting there with nothing going on, and then they dropped STR Omega Shenron while, the Super Saiyan 4s were going on, and it's like, oh! So hopefully this year, that will change. And then, Team Dokkan is talking here. Now, this is where he gets more into his opinion, saying that the next anniversary could be pretty big, and then personal point of view, but this anniversary bigger than LR Gogeta, LR Vegito. So, if you guys remember, when LR Gogeta and Vegito came out, there was a lot of damn hype. That's why Nano is responding with the super hot fire gif right here, because LR Gogeta and Vegito was a really big deal. So if they are going to pass them, the cards are probably going to be ridiculously hype or ridiculously good. So it's definitely going to be very, very exciting. Team Dokkan definitely dropped some interesting info for both Global and JP here. So we'll kind of see how it plays out. Now, just briefly going through stuff, guys. Super Boo, I shouldn't even need to say this, but skip Super Boo. Like, he's okay. He's definitely closer to the worst category leader than the best, but I do think he's a little better than Future Gohan, as well as Ultimate Gohan, SCR Ultimate Gohan, because Boo transforms no matter what after 5 turns. Usually he'll transform into Buhan. Buhan is a strong unit, attack and defense 120%, recover 10% HP at the start of turn, greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, right? So he's good, but unfortunately for Boo, Gogeta and Broly are the 2 best TURs in the game. They are special units that just have strengths across the board. You want to make sure you have stones for these guys. Plus, I would say summoning on the New Year's banner, is still way more valuable than summoning for that Boo banner. I don't think the Boo banner will be changed on Global. This is likely what it's going to be. I know people are going to be like, oh, this is good. SCR Janemba's here, so they'll change him for Broly's banner. Personally, I get the indication they're not going to change it. They have no problem shoving Janemba in front of y'all's face, especially when he's about to be replaced by Int Janemba on Global. Trust me, they will bring this guy back on every banner moving forward. I don't think they're going to change that. I don't think they would put Turles on the movie banner because, people say these banners are disappointing. They're crazy when they say that, by the way. But, the banner is already very strong, right? You have the 3 new units on each banner who are, tremendous. Then you do have amazing Dokkan Fest units here. It's just these guys have been on many, many banners prior, right? And then same thing over here. Well, Omega's amazing, but then, Super Saiyan 3 Broly, this OG Broly, this Janemba, it's you really could miss me with all of those. Whereas, Gotenks, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and Int Gogeta are definitely more favorable units than them. But just compare these banners, you could see the Super Boo banner does not hold up. Physical Super Vegito, he's a good unit, but I'm not too big on him. SCR Janemba, no. Int Boo, no. This Boo, as amazing as he should be, I'm not the biggest fan of his awakening. He's okay, but he's nothing crazy. Then we have this Hercule. He is, one of the best defensive units in the game, but you don't want to go for him as a featured unit. Global players, you want to let him come to you as an unfeatured SSR, and same thing with AGL Western Supreme Kai, who is one of the best support units in the game for Realm of Gods. You want to let her come to you rather than chase. So there you go, guys. There is, sort of all of the info we've got here. The info dropped by Team Dokkan. Shout outs to him. All the stuff with the 4-year anniversary coming very, very soon. And Global potentially getting the movie characters at sometime in the middle of February. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the movie characters come sooner rather than later. But remember, it's that story event is going to drop, and then it's going to be about 2 weeks' time until the banners drop. They always keep those same sort of timetables on Global when they bring stuff to Global, right? It's just like the Universal Survival Arc story event had the same thing, where it was brought out on Global, and then they waited to add the new stages till later. They will do that again. So, we're just waiting on that story event to pop up, and then the Gogeta and Broly movie hype will officially begin on Global. Yes, I know it's a bit disappointing. I'm with y'all. I do think they should have released them on both versions at the same time. That would have been ideal, but unfortunately they did not. So, Legends and Global Dokkan, still just waiting for Blue Gogeta, the personification of hype itself. So, thanks y'all for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.